Hey, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving headfirst into a massive shakeup that's about to hit millions of people who depend on Social Security. Buckle up, because the Social Security Administration just dropped a bombshell. They're flipping the script on how you manage your benefits, and it's going to catch a lot of folks off guard. If you've ever updated your direct deposit or sorted out your Social Security over a quick phone call, this one's going to hit close to home. Big changes are rolling out soon, and they could mean longer waits, bigger headaches, and a whole lot of frustration if you're not ready. So, stick with me, we're breaking it all down, step by step, so you can dodge the chaos and keep your benefits flowing smoothly. And if this saves you even 1 ounce of stress, hit that like button, it means the world to me, and consider subscribing. I'm here to keep you in the loop on stuff that matters, so let's get into it. Picture this. It's a regular Tuesday morning, you're sipping your coffee, maybe planning how to stretch that Social Security check to cover the bills, when bam, news hits that the rules are changing. For years, Social Security has been a lifeline for over 70 million Americans, retirees, people with disabilities, survivors, and the systems let us handle basic updates like switching bank accounts or tweaking benefits with a simple phone call. Easy, right? Well, not anymore. The SSA is slamming the brakes on that convenience, and starting soon, if you can't prove who you are through their online portal, you're going to have to drag yourself to a Social Security office in person. Yep, in person, no more cozy phone fixes from your couch. And here's the kicker, they're making this switch while closing offices and slashing staff. Fewer places to go, fewer people to help, and a flood of folks needing face-to-face appointments? That's a storm brewing, and I'm here to help you weather it. What's driving this upheaval? The SSA says it's all about locking down security, cracking the whip on fraud so scammers can't hijack your benefits. And let's be real, fraud's a legit worry. Identity theft is a beast out there, and nobody wants some crook siphoning off their hard-earned Social Security. The idea is to make sure every change, like rerouting your direct deposit or filing a claim, comes from you, not some shady imposter. Sounds noble, right? But the way they're rolling this out is where the wheels start wobbling. If you can't verify your identity online through the My Social Security portal, and trust me, that's trickier for some than it sounds, phone calls are off the table. Your only option? Trekking to an SSA office. For millions, that's going to feel less like a security upgrade and more like a giant roadblock. Let's break it down, because this isn't just a minor hiccup, it's a game changer, especially for certain folks. First off, not everyone's a tech wizard. Think about your grandma, your uncle, or that neighbor who still uses a flip phone. Older Americans, many of whom are the backbone of Social Security's 66 million plus beneficiaries, aren't always comfy navigating online portals. The My Social Security system relies on things like up-to-date personal info, security questions, and sometimes even credit history checks to verify you. But what if your info's outdated? What if the system flags a mismatch because you moved 5 years ago, or your credit file's a mess from some old mix-up? You're out of luck online, and the phone? Forget it. It's straight to the office for you. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I'll just swing by the local SSA office, no biggie. Oh, if only it were that simple. Here's where this gets messy. The SSA's been on a diet lately, shrinking its budget, closing offices, and trimming staff like it's a bad reality show makeover. Over the past decade, they've shuttered dozens of field offices, down from over 1,200 in 2010 to closer to 1,100 today, and cut thousands of employees. Funding's been squeezed too, with Congress often leaving the agency scrambling to do more with less. So, picture this: fewer offices, overworked staff, and now a tidal wave of people who can't use the phone or online options, all rushing to book in-person appointments. It's like trying to fit a stadium crowd through a single turnstile. Someone's getting crushed. Let's talk numbers for a sec, because this math ain't pretty. Right now, if you call the SSA to book an appointment, you're already staring at a 2-hour wait on hold on a good day. Once you snag that slot, actually getting in could take weeks, sometimes months, depending on where you live. Rural areas? Forget it, offices are sparse, and some folks are looking at a full-day road trip just to get there. Add in this new rule, and experts are predicting wait times could double or triple as millions more need face-to-face help. Imagine standing in line or worse, sitting on a hard plastic chair for hours, just to update your bank info because your old account got hacked. That's not a what if, it's what's coming, and it's not just about inconvenience. This hits harder for some than others. What about people with mobility issues? Folks in wheelchairs, or those who can't stand for long, now forced to travel and wait. Or rural retirees who don't have a car or gas money to hit an office 50 miles away? Transportation's a luxury not everyone's got. I think of my own family, my aunt in a small town, no public transit, relying on Social Security to scrape by. A trip like that could eat half her monthly check in fuel and time. Then there's the digitally disconnected. About 20% of seniors don't use the internet regularly, according to Pew Research. For them, this online or in-person ultimatum isn't just tough, it's a wall they can't climb. But wait, there's a tiny ray of sunshine in this storm. One change might actually help: direct deposit updates are speeding up. Under the old system, switching your bank account could take 30 days to process, plenty of time for a scammer to swoop in if your info got compromised. Now, the SSA says it'll take just one business day. That's a win for security, no doubt. Less chance for fraudsters to redirect your cash. But here's the rub: if you can't make that change online because the portal rejects you, you're still stuck waiting for an office visit. Faster processing doesn't mean much if you're stuck in line for weeks to even start the process. It's like putting a turbo engine in a car with no wheels. Great idea, bad execution. So, why's this happening now? The SSA's waving the fraud prevention flag high, and it's not hard to see why they're worried. A 2023 Inspector General report pegged improper payments, think fraud, errors, or overpayments, at about $1.2 billion annually. That's real money, but here's the reality check: it's less than 0.1% of the SSA's $1.4 trillion yearly payout. Most benefits, over 99%, go exactly where they're supposed to. Claims of massive fraud, like payments to long-dead folks, have been exaggerated in the past. Think thousands, not millions, of cases, and the SSA's already got systems to catch those. So, is this overhaul really about nailing that tiny fraction of bad apples, or is something else cooking in Washington? Some folks are whispering politics. Budget hawks and efficiency gurus like those in the new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, pushed by figures like Elon Musk, have long griped about Social Security's size. They argue it's bloated, outdated, a drain on taxpayers. Musk himself has called it unsustainable, though he stopped short of saying shut it down. Could these changes be a backdoor way to shrink the program by making it harder to use? There's no hard proof. DOGE is just getting started as of March 2025, but the timing's suspicious: tougher rules, fewer resources, all while the SSA's already gasping for air. Advocacy groups like AARP aren't buying the security-only line. They're calling it a barrier dressed up as a fix, especially for vulnerable folks who can't jump through these hoops. Let's zoom out for a second. Social Security's not just a check, it's a promise. Since 1935, it's been the bedrock for retirees, the disabled, kids who've lost parents. Today, it keeps 22 million people above the poverty line, per the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. But it's been under pressure for years: aging population, stagnant funding, political tug-of-war. Staffing's down 15% since 2010, even as beneficiaries climbed past 70 million. Office closures hit rural states hardest. Think Montana, West Virginia, leaving gaps that Zoom can't fill. Now, pile on this in-person mandate, and you've got a system creaking at the seams. The SSA says they're adapting, but without more staff or cash, it's like asking a marathon runner to sprint with a broken leg. Okay, enough doom and gloom, let's get proactive. What can you do to dodge this mess? Step 1. If you haven't touched the My Social Security portal, now's the time. Head to ssa.gov, set up your account, and test it out. You'll need your Social Security number, a valid ID, and answers to some security questions. Think, what was your first car? Or where'd you go to high school? If it works, your golden. Updates like bank changes or benefit tweaks stay online, no office needed. But if it glitches, say, your address doesn't match or the system freezes, don't wait. Figure out why now, before the rush hits. Step 2. If online's a no-go, book that in-person appointment ASAP. Call 1-800-772-1213. Yes, you'll wait, so grab a snack and lock in a slot. The new rules kick in soon, rumors say late spring 2025, though the SSA's cagey on dates, so don't sleep on this. Check your ID, too. Expired driver's license? Missing birth certificate? Sort it out now, because showing up unprepared could mean a wasted trip. Some offices are already swamped. Think big cities like Chicago or LA, so the earlier, the better. Pro tip. Mornings tend to be less chaotic than afternoons, if you can swing it. Step 3, spread the word. Got a parent, grandparent, or friend on Social Security? Be their hero. Help them set up that online account. Sit down with a coffee, walk them through it. Can't do online? Drive them to the office, or at least call for them. My buddy's mom, 78, nearly missed a payment last year because she didn't know her bank switch needed a new form. A little teamwork now can save a meltdown later. And if they're rural or mobility challenged, start hunting for transport options: community shuttles, rideshares, anything to bridge the gap. Let's talk real life for a minute. Imagine Jane, 72, widowed, living in a small Ohio town. Her Social Security's $1,500 a month, enough for rent, meds, and a few groceries. Her bank closes her account after a scam scare, so she needs to update her direct deposit. She's never used My Social Security, too confusing, and the phone's out. Her nearest office? 40 miles away, no bus, and her arthritis makes driving a nightmare. She waits 3 weeks for an appointment, spends $50 on a cab, and sits 2 hours to see someone. That's not security, that's punishment. Multiply Jane by millions, and you see why this matters. Or take Mike, 60, on disability in Atlanta. He's tech savvy, but his My Social Security won't verify some glitch with an old address. Phone's dead as an option, so he calls for an appointment. 2 hours on hold, then a month wait. His rent's due, his bank's changed, stress piles up. These aren't hypotheticals, they're what's coming if we don't prep. The SSA swears they're adding staff and tweaking the portal, but with budgets tight and DOGE pushing cuts, don't hold your breath for a miracle. So, is this change a masterstroke or a misfire? Fraud's real. $1.2 billion isn't pocket change, but it's a drop in Social Security's bucket. Tightening security makes sense, but starving the system of resources while piling on rules feels like a setup. AARP's lobbying Congress for more funding, and some lawmakers want a rollback. Think Senators Warren and Sanders, but as of March 2025, it's full steam ahead. The SSA's promising updates: faster direct deposits, better fraud filters, but without offices and staff, it's a hollow pledge. My take? Protect the system, sure, but don't choke the people it's meant to serve. Here's the bottom line: Social Security's your right, not a favor. Whether you're 25 planning ahead or 85 cashing checks, these changes hit hard if you're not ready. Get that online account humming, snag that appointment early, help your loved ones. Don't let this blindside you. And if you want to ride this roller coaster with me, subscribe, hit that button, ring the bell. I'm digging into every twist and turn, from Social Security to whatever Washington cooks up next. Got a story? Drop it below. How's this affecting you? Let's keep this convo alive. Stay sharp, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.